God called a man named Gideon. For 7 years, every harvest had ended the same way. The Midianites would come sweeping across the land, taking the crops, the sheep, the oxen, and just about anything else they could carry away. By the time they left, there wasn't much left for Israel. They had become so poor, they cried out unto the Lord. When we first meet Gideon, he ain't leading an army. He's hiding by a winepress, threshing wheat, trying to keep the Midianites from finding him. Then the angel of the Lord appeared and said, "The Lord is with thee, thou mighty man of valor." Now, if I'd been Gideon, I believe I'd been looking around to see who he was talking to, because Gideon sure didn't see himself as a mighty man of valor. He said, "O my Lord, if the Lord be with us, why then is all this befallen us?" He couldn't understand how God could be with them while all this was going on. But God wasn't through with Gideon yet. He kept reminding him, "Surely I will be with thee." Finally the day came to face the Midianites. 32,000 men answered the call. Then God said, "The people that are with thee are too many for me to give the Midianites into their hands, lest Israel vaunt themselves against me, saying, Mine own hand hath saved me." Can you imagine hearing that? Too many? So Gideon stood before the men and said anybody that was afraid could go on home. Then he stood there and watched. One man left, then another, then another. When it was over, 22,000 men had gone home. Only 10,000 were left. But God wasn't finished. He said, "The people are yet too many." So God brought them down to the water. Some of the men dropped down on their knees to drink, but others stayed on their feet. They scooped the water up in their hands and lapped it to their mouths. Then spoke God to Gideon, "By the 300 men that lapped will I save you." The rest of the men went on home. Gideon looked around. 300 men. That's all he had left. That night, God gave Gideon one more encouragement. He slipped down to the edge of the Midianite camp and heard one soldier telling another about a dream. The other soldier answered, "This is nothing else save the sword of Gideon, the son of Joash, for into his hand hath God delivered Midian and all the host." When Gideon heard those words, he worshipped. Then he went back to his men and handed every one of them a trumpet, an empty pitcher, and a lamp inside the pitcher. No swords, just exactly what God told them to carry. At Gideon's signal, they blew the trumpets, broke the pitchers, held up the lamps, and cried, "The sword of the Lord of Gideon." The Midianites woke up. They were surprised and still half asleep. Before they knew what was happening, they turned their swords on one another. The ones that were left took off running. God took 300 men and won a battle that 32,000 couldn't have claimed. Because from the very beginning, God wanted Israel to know the victory belonged to Him.